So greetings from Pennsylvania once again, and welcome back to another video. It's September 27th, Saturday morning. We're up here in Schuylkill County, visiting Tuscarora State Park. Of course, we've been here before. We've been to all the state parks in Pennsylvania. But there's a loop system here. You can make a hike all around the lake here, which I'll show you here in a minute. I've done it twice before. We're gonna do it again today. I just picked the state park map up at the office. I have one, but they have a newer one out now that's a bit more updated as far as the trails go. Let me stop yapping and let me show you around. So up there's the boat dock area where I parked. Just met a viewer up there. I think his name is Sean. Oh, I see some fish like down right in there. Okay, anyway, but here's the lake. They've lowered the water levels. Not sure if it's for winter time or there's some other reason, but yeah, they're quite a bit lower than they usually are. But our trail is going to take us all the way up around the lake, all the way out that way and then back again. I think our trail continues off. Anyway, I think I missed the actual trail. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Yes, that was the trail that continued past the picnic area there. Just a little bit confused. Just looks a little bit different with the water levels down. But we're following a yellow blaze. I believe they call this the Lake View Trail. But our loop is made up of a number of different trails. And I'll show that to you on the map in a little bit here. Find a spot. Picnic tables was nice area, but someone was playing music back there, so I don't want to get a copyright strike on my channel, so we'll find another spot. Yeah, the fall colors have already started up here. Got some red on there. I think it's Virginia creeper they call it. But yeah, but here and there, I mean, it's nowhere near peak color yet, but you can start to see, even up there in the mountains, some yellows are starting to make themselves known. Okay, we'll cross the dam up here soon and we walk and hike along that side. Yes, this will be the third time doing this loop. First time I did it was like 9 years ago. I think in order to make it a loop I had to bushwhack a certain section, which I'll show you a little bit. Second time I did it, I discovered they had made a trail where I formerly had to bushwhack, but that trail wasn't on the old state park map, but the new one I picked up at the office has that new trail there, so now you can make a full nice loop using the trails here. It's made up of a number of different trails, including the Lake View Trail, I think it's called the Crow Trail, and something called the Spirit of the Tuscarora Trail. Yeah, we look up this way, we get a neat view of the lake. Drawn down quite a bit though. Yeah, there's some noisy people up in there. Anyway, we'll probably pass them soon. Yeah, looks really green too. Oh, kingfisher. That's what that noise is. Yeah, that noise. Try to catch them on camera. Been notoriously difficult for that, but we'll try. Yeah, and here's the dam breast. There's the lake. The water levels could come all the way up to here, but they don't. I mean, this is a huge, look how tall this is. Going down the other side. That's tall. So this could fill up to a much larger capacity if needed or wanted. Looks like they are doing some work down there though, so maybe that's why the water levels are lower. Up at the end here, might be a good place to show you the map. That's Locust Mountain. Yeah, over there you can see some of the colors, the yellows, a little tint of orange maybe. Yeah, there's looking down the whole length of the lake once again. It's always a beautiful shot. We started this hike just up in there. So we just made our way across the dam. You can see the Lakeview Trail continues down that way. They got a sign for it right there, but I got the map out. See, we started right here. We're on the Lakeview Trail now. It's gonna come around. And then we're gonna get on what's called the Crow Trail. We got some other trails here. This is kind of newer. We come out here to the road right here, then out to this trail right here. Now this is the trail that first time I hiked here, this trail did not exist from here to here. I think it's a Blue Blaze trail. This Spirit of Tuscarora trail existed, but I did a bushwhack from here to there, which actually was not a bad hike. But then the second time I did this, I was expecting the bushwhack again, but like I said, I found that trail, but it was not on the older state park map, but now they have that section filled in. So we're going to continue here. Spirit of Tuscarora, back to where we parked. But let's continue on. Yeah, we'll call this the Tuscarora State Park Loop Trail. Made up of like, I guess about three or so different trails make it up. But this section back here on this side of the lake, I always remember as being a beautiful section, a beautiful hike through here. The hemlocks and the rhododendrons. Some up and downs over here, but it's a beautiful spot. And then you always have the lake just off to your right. And it was here on this trail, like years ago, that I found or came across my first hog-nosed snake here in Pennsylvania. Not the most common snake. Well, the field guides use the term locally common. Where they're found, they're kind of common, but other places they just don't exist at all. That could just, that goes like from one county to the next. One county they can be really common, and next door they're not. Because down where I live, I've never seen them. But up here, in this area, is the only place I've ever seen them. I think I saw my first one here. Kind of an interesting snake. When threatened, they like flatten their head they look like a cobra, and they hiss at you. They make themselves look very like aggressive, almost like they're venomous. But if that doesn't deter you, and you try to touch one or pick one up anyway, then all of a sudden they play dead. They go from being super aggressive to boom, acting like you're dead. Both are defense mechanisms. But they're an interesting snake. I think along this trail somewhere too is the only place I've ever found what's called a purple coral mushroom. Maybe I should show you some pictures of that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I'll try to dig up some pictures. I think I have some video of that hog-nosed snake too. I think I don't know, it might be at another location too. If I can find them, make the time. It's a little bit extra work for the video, but we'll see what we can do. If I find those clips, I'll insert them here. If not, we'll just in the next section of the trail, whatever. Alright, I think I've lost the trail actually for a little bit here. It might be up there somewhere, but this trail has not received any maintenance for a while. That's fine, we're just going to keep going this way. We'll catch up with it again anyway. At some point up here. Although it kind of looks like, I feel like I'm following some kind of secondary trail here. I don't think this trail has received any new maintenance since the first time I've hiked it. Not a complaint. Just an observation. There's some kind of a trail here. Alright, we are back on trail, which is good because it's getting really thick with all this rhododendron. Just one little mishap. But the Lakeview Trail is a yellow blazed trail. You can see the faded yellow blazes on the trees here. So I think right here in this area somewhere is where I saw that hognose snake. I remember coming through an area like this with these birch trees. They have the peeling bark on them. And the undergrowth was a little bit higher here. Or maybe just on trail and going off trail, but yeah. None today. At least not yet. It's warm enough. A bit humid today too. Should mention too that I met a viewer at the parking lot. I think his name was Sean, he said. So every now and then I run into viewers, sometimes at places like this or sometimes at the grocery store. It's always okay to say hi to me. Doesn't matter. Or I should say it's not a bother, that's what I should say. Oh, and I remember this area too. There's like a little stream up here. Not sure if it's going to be running. It's been pretty dry. I think I remember taking a break here. Maybe we'll do that again. Oh, there's a little water in it. Yeah. Maybe we'll take a break on this log right here. A little bit damp. Slightly sturdy. Yeah, it's not a terribly warm day, but the humidity is up there, so it feels warmer than what it is. But we're in no rush today. This is all I'm doing today, so we're in no rush. We'll keep on going up the Lakeview, and eventually we'll hook up with the Crow Trail, which is like an old road. Pretty easy walking. I think there's some tamarack trees or larch trees down that way. We saw some of those at the Whispering Pines Trail that we did recently before my Maine trip. My trip to Maine, I should say. Alright, well, we're just going to chill here for a little bit. Yeah, break is over. I've been walking for a little while. Just saw a huge bird fly off. Not sure what it was offhand. Maybe it was a great blue heron. I think it was down in there, but it seems like it landed up in the trees up there, but we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to get a view up there or not. If I can, I'll show you. If not, we'll just keep on going. Alright, looks like we're coming up to this might be the junction of the Crow Trail. We just got done with Bit of a steep uphill from that little stream valley, but it was a nice forest back there. I see a sign up here, and this looks familiar. So I think this starts our Crow Trail. We have some open meadows up here. Quite a change in scenery. Pretty sure we're gonna go that way. Yeah, to Crow Trail. Oh, sorry, I think you can go either way. I think either way wraps around to further up there, so. A little bit of goldenrod. Of course, the other day, yeah, yesterday we were up at the mountain meadow, closer to home, and it was just filled with goldenrod. Not so much right here. Although I see a little bit more up there. Yeah, just some goldenrod. Not seeing a lot of bees out here though. Here's a bunch of these barberries. I did a video on these, maybe was it last year? These are edible. They're called barberries because the bush is full of barbs, literally. I forget, they weren't anything special. There's a large seed in the middle. But since we're out here, let's try one again. Yeah, I think that one was kind of nasty. Not even like berry-like. Ugh. Anyway, maybe they're not totally ripe, but I didn't care for that one. All right, kind of nasty. More bitter than, it was supposed to be like tangy, but that was kind of bitter. All right, well, that was a fail. Thankfully, I have real food in my pack if I get hungry. Yeah, just turn the camera back. I'm almost positive I saw something in the woods walking that way, but I just caught a glimpse of movement in there, but maybe not. There's no trail in there, so I thought it was a person at first. Or maybe it was something else. Anyway, onwards to the Crow Trail. Alright, this might be the start of our Crow Trail up here, but we have some chestnut trees here. Just not sure if these are, I know that they've been replanting American chestnut trees. Years ago I did a video on the American chestnut, the tragedy around that, but they have, propagated ones that are now resistant to the blight that was killing them. Not sure if that's what these are, if these are, there's also Chinese chestnuts too. They're the ones that brought the blight over to this country, because the Chinese ones are immune to the blight. I know that almost looks like some blight right there. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, that's okay. Not the Crow Trail yet. That's the Locust Mountain Trail going up that way. Not at the Crow Trail yet. I think this is the Crow Trail right up here, just past where we were. We go from open meadow back into this dark hemlock forest. I think we're gonna head that way, because I think this trail, one of these trails goes way back down to the lake again. Yeah, Crow Trail, Locust Mountain Trail. Let me check my map. Alright, so we do go to the left. I was pretty sure. I think, was it the first time I was here? I accidentally went that way. That takes you down to the lake. Starts going steeply downhill. But it doesn't hurt to double check the map. I know sometimes us dudes can be a bit arrogant sometimes, maybe is the word to use, when it comes to trails. We think we know where we're going, that we don't need to check the map, but then we make mistakes. Yeah, so in other words, it's not going to take away from your manliness to double check, take a look at the map. Yeah, the Crow trails. This is a beautiful trail. Eventually we get to where those tamarack trees are. The larch. But eventually this will take us to the road, and then we'll yeah, take a right on the road, find the other trail then. But we're gonna enjoy this for now. Yeah, but as you can see, this Crow trail is kind of like an old road. Well, it is an old road. So pretty easy walking, but beautiful scenery along here. You can just mosey along at your own pace. I believe that's a red-bellied woodpecker off in the distance. And just like that, the scenery changes again. We just leave that rhododendron tunnel. Now we're more out in the open. Already some white pines up here. And we'll, oh yeah, here's some of those larch trees already, the tamarack. Well, the tamarack, the name for it is the eastern larch. Like I said, we talked about these a little bit on the recent trail, the Whispering Pines Trail. These are some right here, and these are larch trees. There's some hemlocks and pines over here. In some places you'll find what's called the European larch, which is obviously from Europe, but it's the same family. To find a younger one, we can look at the needles. Because remember, the thing with larch trees is that they are a deciduous conifer. You know, most conifers, like our pines and hemlocks and spruces, they're evergreen trees. They don't lose their needles or their leaves. Needles are just a modified leaf. So they are a leaf in a way, but they don't lose them in the wintertime. But these larches, or the tamarack, they do. And they regrow in the spring, just like the other deciduous trees. Deciduous trees are the ones that lose their leaves in the fall. Like right now. Yeah, there's a big white pine tree right here. Oh, that's a pileated woodpecker. But anyway, these over here are the larch trees, and they're already tinged like a brownish or a yellow color, so they're already getting ready to fall. But I don't see any younger ones. They're only growing on this side over here. Yeah, you can look, see how they're, I can zoom in, I forgot about that. They are turning like a brownish color. They're already starting to fall, I think. Yeah, just a greatly varying terrain and, you know, different ecosystems. There's a big word to use. There's a trail. Doesn't say where it goes though. Anyway, kind of curious. Anyway, we'll stick with this one. Yeah, look, now I got these huge trees here, big walnut trees. Yeah, the scenery, that's the word I'm looking for. The scenery just changes, different types of forests. Look, all the colors changing here. These are the spice bush trees, or spice bushes. They're all changing, they're yellows. I see a splash of red. It's the Virginia creeper again over there. And right up here is the gate. The road. I forget what name of the road this is, but we're gonna head to the right. I'm pretty sure I drove in on this road to get here. Maybe the road's just not here. I think there's a parking lot right here actually. I think the road's just beyond. Forgot about that. Yeah, like it's been a while since I've done this loop. Yeah, this is just the parking lot. So if you just wanted to hike the Crow Trail, which is a really nice trail to hike. You could just park here. Some different signs there, maps. Yeah, so here's the road after you come down the little dirt lane from the parking area. So we gotta make our way off to the right. We gotta cross that concrete bridge up there, and just past that bridge is a blue blaze trail heading off back into the woods again. So yeah, back that way takes you to Route 209. That's the way I came in. Yeah, a little bit of road walking here. But if you want to make a loop out of this whole trail system, this is what you gotta do. I'll catch up with you down there. Yeah, so here we're at the bridge. This is Locust Creek. Like I said, up here somewhere is that trail. We'll be hiking along this for a bit. Actually, for most of the way back we will be. Just gotta find that blue blaze trail up here. Thought it started not too far from the guardrail here. And actually, just right after I turned the camera off, there it is, the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail. So just right past the concrete bridge, you hop over, and you can get off this road, which isn't too busy, but can be. Right back into our woods again. So this is that newer section now that wasn't on the older maps. Like I said, when first time I did this loop, I bushwhacked this section. I'm pretty sure the trail wasn't there back then. I didn't see it. But it's here now. I don't see any blaze marks, but I remember it having some blue blaze marks, but maybe I'm wrong about that too. Anyway, it's been a while since we've been on this trail, or this whole system. And at this point, we are now on the other side of the lake and headed back. When you come out on the Crow Trail to the road there, you're kind of the furthest point from where you parked. Well, depending on where you parked. From where I parked, at least. All the trails on this side are called the Spirit of Tuscarora, although there's multiple trails blazed in different colors. It can be a bit confusing. But we're gonna kind of take the trails that are the quickest back to where we parked. Yeah, just down below us, a little ways, is Locust Creek. There's some nice trout in that creek, because later on, our trail's right along the creek. I remember looking in there and seeing like whole, I don't know what you call it, swarms of trout. I don't know if swarm is the word to use, but yeah. Yeah, right down here's the creek. And doesn't that look inviting? Yeah. I'll look for a break spot soon again. Break number 2. Maybe somewhere along the creek here. Trail is taking us down that way. Almost just walked past something. I don't remember seeing this in the past. There's a little spring house. I remember seeing right up here, there's a certain plant I'm going to point out, which I probably did in previous videos, but there is like a little, almost like a little spring house right here, which makes sense because the plant that's growing up here is this, we call it periwinkle when I was younger, but it's not a native plant. There was probably a house. In fact, it looks like right up there looks like a flat area too. There was probably a house back here, and they planted this. It has like some nice sky blue colored flowers in the spring. So wherever you see this stuff growing, there's most likely, oh yeah, there's some more brickwork back there. So yeah, Oh yeah, so here we come to a split in the trail. You could go that way, but I think we're gonna stay this way. I'm just gonna quick check my map though. Yeah, so if we stay this way to the right, it keeps us along the creek, which is what I want. Oh, picnic table. We could take a break here. Maybe we will. Oh, there's I almost didn't see this picnic table. Whoa. This one is... This is what happens to picnic tables eventually. They get covered in moss and stuff. But I think we'll take a break at that one right there. Yeah, not bad. The creek is right there behind us. I think it's past lunch. Yeah, 12:30. So we'll have some more snacks. Acorns falling. All right, well, farewell to that break spot. Kind of a dangerous place to sit. I got nailed by an acorn right on my back. And I also lost my other bottle of Propel. I brought 2 bottles today. I just finished the one right there. The other one is not in my pack anymore, on the little side pouches I have. Not sure what happened to it. Feeling for, yeah, the one's gone. Not sure where that came out at really, or what happened there. But I don't have anything else to drink. There's a creek right here. I do have a water filter in my bag if I need water. It's not, we'll see. Anyway, so out here somewhere back there is a free bottle Propel, unopened. I have no idea where. We're just gonna keep going. Right next to the creek here. Can't really see it because of the rhododendrons, but you can hear it. It's a beautiful stream. And I'll take you guys through the tunnel. I see some grapes on the ground here. I can smell them too. Oh, here's a grapevine. Keep our eyes open for them. They're tasty. Yeah, there's another grapevine. Oh yeah, some more grapes laying on the ground here, a whole bunch of them. But, oh, I guess maybe just above us there's a grapevine. Dropping them. Find some still in the vine, I might eat some, but yeah, here's another good example of this invasive species. This is called Mile a Minute. It has these bluish colored berries, which I tried eating in a recent video. They are edible, but there's just a big seed in the middle. But see how Oh, there's leaves falling. I heard something rustling, but yeah, it's just covering all the foliage here, all the other plants, kind of crowding them out. Yeah, that's what invasive species can do. Yeah, all that lighter green colored stuff is mile a minute, growing over everything. And eventually end up back into this beautiful rhododendron and hemlock forest. So up here's another trail junction where this trail we're on, the Spirit of Tuscarora, kind of goes in different directions. You can stay along the creek or take a shortcut. I might go for the little shortcut, just because I don't have my other bottle propel anymore. I forget which all I've done in the past. So we still have a little ways to go yet till I get to where I parked. Even once we gotta get back to the lake first. There's still more hiking to do. So is this where? Yes, here's a split. See, the red blaze goes up that way. Actually, that is the trail. I thought the trail goes down this way too. Okay, maybe this isn't what we want. Split wise yet. It feels like I do see a trail up that way too. I see a red blaze up there. I'm gonna quick investigate here, determine which way I want to go. I think in the years past I always went this way. I'm gonna stick with the right for now because I've determined I don't want to go that way. That takes kind of back where we came from, because we came on this trail down here, but this kind of is taking you back that way. I looked at the map too, so there should be another trail kind of cutting off that way though, according to the map. I'm not seeing anything. We'll see. If not, we'll see. Actually, there's arrows. Okay. Yeah. Forget what's going on here. I'm just going to keep following this main trail going this way. Red blazes, a little confusing back there as to what's going on exactly. Seems like one. Just looking at the map. Oh, there's a white blaze trail up here. Maybe this is what I'm looking for. Because if I stay on the red blaze trail, it dips us down along the creek and back up. But if we take me, I think this white trail might be the one I'm looking for. That kind of is a shortcut across. Yeah, the red trail continues that way along the creek. But let's take the white trail. I think this is what I want. It's going to cut across. Cut some time off here. I don't think I've ever gone this way. I think I always just stayed on that red trail there. This is going, I believe this is going where I want. Yeah, but part of the problem with their map is that all the trails in this area are called the Spirit of the Tuscarora Trail. Even though there's different blaze marks like red and white. I think there might even be another color out here somewhere. It would help if the map was color coded too, like we're on the white trail. It would help if on the map it was also shown as a white trail. I think I made the right choice here. Now that I'm here, I think I came this way once before. It wouldn't have mattered which way you went back there. If I would have stayed on the red trail, both are going to bring us back to the same spot. Just the white trail is a little bit shorter. But if you wanted to continue that scenic walk along the creek, you would stay on the red trail. Which maybe I would have, but like I said, I mean, I'm not dying of thirst at the moment, but I don't have any more Propel to drink. So yeah, because the white trail continues that way, but now there's a yellow trail. I knew there's another color back here. But the lake is that way, so that's the way we need to go. And there's no like labels on any of the trail junctions. Normally, different colored trails have different names, but here they're all just labeled. I guess part of the Spirit Tuscarora Trail, which, like I said, is just a little bit confusing. It ought to be changed a little bit, I think. Anyway, just an opinion. Doesn't really matter in the end. Maybe I'm just delirious from not having Propel anymore. No, not really. Okay, so down here somewhere we should encounter that red blazed trail again. Yeah, here's another trail junction. Our yellow trail goes off that way. Not sure if this is our red trail or not. Don't really see any blaze marks back there. Anyway, doesn't really matter. We're where we need to be. So we're on the other side of the lake now, obviously, but we'll be coming up on the main day use area here, where the beach is and all that stuff in a bit. Then we have a little bit more to go to get back to where I parked at the boat ramp area. That's a massive hemlock. Cool. Yeah, so just keep in mind the trails in this area of the park, where it's all labeled as a Spirit of Tuscarora, it is a bit confusing, unless you're really familiar with the area. But if you come here for the first time, it might throw you off a bit. It would help if the map, like I said, was color-coded as the trails were. But it is what it is. Well, there's a nice little peek through. And then into another beautiful section of hemlock. I love these woods like this. All right, so for our first and only real wildlife spotting, well, I did see a few fish in the creek, but there is a super tiny dude. Oh, he just hopped. That gives away what it is, I think. I think he's right on the log there. Check him out. Tiny little toad. Oh, hello there, buddy. Well, maybe our only wildlife sighting on camera. Like I said, I saw some fish. We heard some birds. Heard some squirrels out there too. There's wildlife out here. I know some of these people ask me, I'm surprised you don't see more wildlife. Well, that's the way it is sometimes. Plus, we're out here at midday. A lot of times most wildlife is kind of chill or relaxing at midday. A lot of our wildlife here in Pennsylvania is nocturnal. You'll see more in the evening and at dusk. So, and also I'm just, walking along these trails. Wildlife tends to avoid you if necessary. Well, they choose to avoid you. So sometimes you just don't see as much. Just the way it is. It doesn't mean it's out here. Even that little toad was trying to hop away from me. Alright, up we go here. Oh, there he goes. There's a squirrel out there. You saw him on camera. He's kind of off camera now. Where'd you go, buddy? We're trying to prove to everybody that there is wildlife out here. He's gone. But I think you could see him there earlier. Yeah, so a parking lot up here. So we're getting back to the busy areas of the park. Oh, there's no parking. There's no cars parked. It's kind of odd. It's a beautiful Saturday. Yeah, come to think of it, I encountered. Oh, there's a car up there though. Very few people on the trail today. It's an absolutely beautiful day, but not going to complain about that. All right. Where to go from here? I think we'll head down this way. So that's technically the end of the Spirit of Tuscarora trail. We're gonna head along so down to the main day use area, and somewhere down here we'll hook up with the Lakeshore Trail again. Yeah, so down here is the beach area, which is currently closed. You can really see how far the lake levels are down. Got one dude paddle boarding out there. Yeah, up there you can see the dam breast that we crossed over earlier. We hiked all the way across over there. So we don't have too much further to go to where I parked. All right, where to go from here? I see a trail going up there, but let's head down here. Forget what I did in the past, but let's go this way. Looks like a trail. Got some leaf blower action going out there. Yeah, this is definitely a trail right along the lake here. I don't know if this is an official trail. It's not blazed or anything, but it'll work. I think this is what I've taken in the past. Looks like in the past there's something more going on here. Well, there's like some kind of building up there. Guess we'll go up here. It's like a... Huh. I don't think this gets used anymore. The bench here. The creepy section of the park. Yeah, look at that. Huh. Anyway. Another bench down here. Just not sure where... But I could probably walk along the... Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to go here. We could probably just walk along the edge here so the water levels are down. Let's do that. I think that works just as fine. Maybe we won't regret this. But I think there are trails up there that go the way we need to go. Because just around the corner here is that boat launch area. But since the water's down, let's just go this way. Yeah, so some aspects of this trail loop, using all these different trails, might be kind of like a make your own trail type of thing. Those are some beautiful dragonflies here. They flew off. But yeah, like parts of it are not. Like on the other side of the trail, it's just the Lakeview Trail, the Crow Trail. But once you come back over here, you have different options for that Spirit of Tuscarora trail that you can take, including this part here. Here I'm just walking along the lake, but there are some trails up further here that take you that way, or there's some paved roads too that would take you back to the parking lot. So you can just kind of choose what you want. Like since the lake levels are low, I'm just gonna walk on the lake. So you can kind of like that Build-A-Bear place, you know, build a trail. Do what you want. This is looking kind of nice. Not regretting this choice. Is that our... Oh, I thought that was a bird coming down, just a leaf. Yeah, never did get any photos or video of that kingfisher either. That was way up here earlier at the beginning. Oh, whoa, is that an old? I don't think that's an old bottle. Not super old. Older. Getting a little steeper up here, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll regret this. No, it's doable. Just gotta watch your step. Maybe we have a little bit further to go than I thought. I thought it was just around here, but I think around there. Because you should, yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Because there were boats moored up along the edge. Well, like kayaks and canoes. Alright, so we've got just a little ways to go. Yeah, so right around the corner here should be, yeah, I see where we started. Oh, there's the dam breast across. There's a little inlet right here. And the trail we started on was right out there, and there's that little picnic area out there. Another squirrel. Saw some chipmunks here today too. Just didn't get any on camera. There he is. You want to pose for us, buddy? He's right by that tree there. Now he's behind it. Oh, there he goes. Kind of see his tail there. I think that'll be it then, folks, for this video. Like I said, there are multiple ways to get back to where, if you park where I did here, at the boat area. But yeah, fun little hike, a beautiful day. I haven't died of thirst. So, yeah, because right up here is the one dirt road. This is what I think I came in last time. There's a trail right here, just up from where I was walking along the edge of. See, right here's a trail. So, I think this is what I took last time. Alright, thanks so much for coming along, folks. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one.